Yeah, everyone, welcome back to a second chance. My name is Philip Jones, your host, transplant recipient, and today we're being joined by four wonderful gentlemen, four who are all authors in their own right. Some coming out with books, some who have released already. So we're just going to do Q&A sessions to kind of pick their brains about their success, who's inspired them, things of that nature. So, gentlemen, go ahead and start us off. Give us about 2 or 3 minutes introducing yourselves.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tifiro Cook, two-time kidney transplant recipient and founder of Kidney Care Coaches, where we coach people with stage 3 kidney disease. We have 3 services: group coaching, one-on-one coaching, and membership site coaching. Uh, Also, when I was on dialysis, I used to own my own fitness studio, and that's where I started helping other patients on dialysis. I worked with my buddy Eddie Drake for 15 years with pediatric transplant kids. So that's a little bit about me, and also the author of the 10 Dialysis Commandments: 10 things you need to know before you, so you can thrive and survive on dialysis.
Hey everybody, I'm Tim Sohn. I'm a husband, a dad, a son, a 16-year leukemia survivor. I'm a host of a live stream show called Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer, where we have conversations with cancer patients, survivors, and supporters about their personal journeys with cancer. I'm also author of a book, which is an extension of the show, called Perspectives on Cancer. Cancer patients, survivors, and supporters share their stories. And that's a little bit about me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Edward Drake, and I just consider myself an ordinary individual who utilizing my life gifts and blessings to do extraordinary things with the help of so many others. I'm a kidney transplant recipient and a founder of the Why Not Foundation and a community investor with the Why Not Me Enterprise.
Right. Am I muted?
And
No.
So it's a pleasure to be on.
Okay. All right. Again, I'm Fred Hill. Excited to be here. Thanks, Philip, for inviting me. I am the founder of Dialysis Is Not Your Life nonprofit. Also, founder of Reset Life Counseling, where we counsel and coach the patients with kidney disease on dialysis and also transplant. The patients, their families, and their caregivers to understand how kidney disease and dialysis affects the whole body and it affects everyone in the family. And so with that, to be able to coach, to be able to counsel, to get your life back, because you're on dialysis or kidney disease you're dealing with the family does not mean that your life is over. It is the beginning. Whether you're on dialysis, it gives you a second chance. And if you've been diagnosed with kidney disease, it gives you a second chance to get it, to fix it, to get it right, to change your life. And that's why we're here. Also, motivator, every Monday morning, motivation with Fred on Dialysis Is Not Your Life YouTube channel, the author of Dialysis Is Not Your Life, and also the workbook, Dialysis Is Not Your Life, to step by step for you to get your life back, your energy, your drive, your sex drive, your strength, everything that dialysis tells you that you can't do or you can't be or you can't have. Understand you can get it. I'm Fred Hill, and I'm excited to be here today.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you all for joining us today. First question is, what did you start writing?
What inspired me more than anything was when I was going through everything as far as my journey. I wanted to help others with the things I saw that helped me, with me learning how to eat the proper way, how to exercise the proper way, how to keep my mindset in the proper way. And also, seeing what my family was going through also. So I wanted to, jot these things down and create a 10-step program. Well, not even a 10-step program, just say 10 things that the person who's on dialysis can do real quick to change their life on this trajectory that they're on right now. As far as doing these things can get you adherent real quick and hopefully get you a transplant. With that being said, also creating you a healthy life while on dialysis. So that's what inspired me more than anything, just to get the things down and start helping other folks. That was my main concern.
So I had wanted to write a book for a while, and I do not like writing long things. I like reading short things, and I like writing short things. So the idea of a book was very overwhelming for me. But then I had held an in-person event around Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer in the fall. And one of the attendees of the event, he's named Savio Clemente, and he's one of the contributors to the book that I wrote and that he contributed to. And he generously donated copies of his book to the event. And the way he created his event was a similar format that I'm doing, which is I shared my cancer story in it, but then he shared stories of other cancer survivors as well. And the idea of it doing that way just made it so less overwhelming for me. And as soon as I saw that format, I just started getting to work right away. And also I've gotten a lot of help from my friend Veronica Jeans as well. She's helped a lot in the process as well. So getting help from others and being inspired by Savio has been a huge help and inspired me.
Yes. And sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm a king at overcoming adversity, and we got new internet over where my home is. So, yeah. But what inspired me to write a book is really just my I was just led to I wanted to have as many vehicles as I can to achieve my life purpose, which is to inspire and impact lives, whether it's via book or speaking. And book was just the next opportunity that presented itself. I had the pleasure of I had an idea for a series that we're currently working on. We got other books down the pipeline that we're waiting to get approved. But I had an idea for this book. I reached out. This was my first time ever writing a book, so I reached out to a collaborative partner because, of course, teamwork makes the dream work. So I'm all about collaborating and elevating. So I reached out to the wonderful Miss Brenda Cortez. Let her know my idea. I had the story. She had the resources to as far as put it together, the illustrators and all that other stuff. So we came together and partnered on that. How inspired me to Why Not, which launched us into the other things that got off the work. So shout out to Brenda Cortez and Howl the Owl series, and Why Not Impact Live.
Well, for me, what made me write, my story is a lot like Tifiro's, because for me, I'm an exciting person. I love life. I love laughter. For me, in exercise, I've always, since I was 19, I've been in the gym. So that's been, part of me for health. So one thing for me, just quick about my story, when I went on dialysis, for me personally, number one, I thought I was going to die because everyone in my family who had polycystic kidney disease, when they went on dialysis, they died. And so now it's my turn. Now what's going to happen with me? And I saw how my life, when you're looking at the effects of dialysis, losing your confidence, losing your sex appeal to you, you're looking at yourself, not feeling right. You're looking in the mirror, tubes and stuff coming out of you. These different things. I went into a spiral of depression, in seeing how dialysis was affecting my marriage, affecting my relationship with my son. And I was basically dead man walking. And the thing is, looking at the people in the clinic, seeing how they were lifeless and understanding who the person of Fred Hill, it took a moment to break out of the depression, because I don't want to be like this no more. But there were no answers for me when I was on. is. They didn't have Why Not. They didn't have kidney coaches. They didn't have this. And so for me, I felt like I was nobody else in the clique, or no one that I knew was living when they went on dialysis. Everybody just looked horrible. I mean, and it bothered me. So the only thing that I knew was exercise. And so for me, I started exercising. And from that point, I didn't know that I couldn't exercise the same way. I ended up getting 2 hernias, but I found out through trial and error how to make this thing work for me. So with that, I created Better Health, Fitness, and Motivation, and I became a certified trainer and all of that. And so with that, in the beginning, it was teaching people on dialysis how to exercise, how to tone, how to get your life back through that. And like Tifiro was saying, how you eat. And next thing you're getting your energy back. You got your confidence back, your sex drive, sex life, all these different things. And so the places where I was going, that was like, who do you here to pick up? I'm like, I'm a patient. And so for me, more people start asking questions about me. What are you doing? So I wrote Dialysis Not Your Life as a tool. It's not a story of Fred Hill. It's a tool of how to get your life back, to let you know what is possible while you are on dialysis, to redefine your life and enjoy your life and live your life, go after your hopes, your dreams, your desires, live big, vacation, all those different things, is to go after that. And so that's the tool, and the center of that is MOVE. The acronym is to maximize, overcome, visualize, and execute. Because anything, this is what I realized, anything that is not moving, if you got a car and the car just sits, it would deteriorate. If you have a house and it sits, the floors begin to warp. If you have a river or whatever, a lake that's supposed to flow and it doesn't flow, it would swamp up. And so you're looking at the body is meant to move. And so with that, to maximize every opportunity, whether good or bad, overcome. I like what Drake said. He said he's a king of overcoming. And with that, that's what I want to develop, to overcome every struggle, every excuse, every obstacle, to get your desired outcome, to visualize yourself, change your perception, change your definition of what they say you can do to what you know you can do, and execute, get your plan, execute it, and live your life, live your dream, because you can do it. Because dialysis really is not your life.
Awesome. So my next question is, when and we start writing?
When and where? That's a good question. I just picked up a pad and pencil. I didn't have any really direction. At first, I started just writing down my thoughts and things that I experienced, and then the vision came to me on how I wanted to write the book and how I wanted people to see it and everything, and how I wanted people to feel it. And I think what happens with you is, once you start putting the pencil to the paper or the pen to the paper, your higher self comes and starts helping you along the way and gives you some guidance. And that's what happened to me. It started giving me guidance, and I just took it from there, and that's where I started. So I started just with the pen and paper and just in my office and doing it from there. That's where I started at.
So if I did it on a pen and paper, I could probably read it. I don't know if anybody else could read it, but I wrote on my laptop, and I think I was in my house here. It was really hard for me to write my cancer story. To write my own cancer story was really hard. I've told my own cancer story lots of times on video, but to actually write it, I found it so challenging. But I did it in my house. I only wrote it, I don't know, a few months ago. And I ended up writing it, the most of it. I sat on my bed in my bedroom with my laptop, just like in quiet, writing, focused, like in a few sessions, and just in peace and focus. Yeah. But it was hard for me.
Nah, awesome. I started writing this funny story, I started writing back in probably like junior high school, back when I had a real bad stuttering problem back then, and I would try to like holler at girls, ain't had no game, but girls they be like you cute, just I mean, like I would always talk myself out of a date or something like that, and then so I found I can write. She like just girls be like just be quiet, hey. But then I remember writing a song. Then I just started writing poems, started writing notes, and I remember this kind of clearly. But I wrote this girl. I like once again overcoming obstacles, king of overcoming adversity. I wrote this girl, or I wrote this poem. I said, I'm always gonna eat Drake, always gonna have a pretty girl on his arm. I don't got no game, but I'm gonna mesmerize you with charm, or something like that. I said, and and you do what you had to do, and So I kind of started trying to get women, and you start going through different things, or start going through different things, and I couldn't express myself. I would express myself like through fighting or through wrestling, but I found a way to be able to start writing poems and start expressing my feelings and different things like that. And I always keep a pad near me, full of stuff. And now these days, when I write books, a lot of those books are just thoughts. I call them puzzle pieces that I wrote down years, how we're feeling, or maybe a saying may come to me, or acronym, and I kind of be like, oh, like dang, I'm gonna call this book that I maybe wrote down back in whatever. So that's kind of my writing process, and it's kind of therapeutic, and now it's turned into books and plays and future movies and stuff like that. So yeah. Women is the root of all men, so that's how I started. Thank you, ladies.
Wow, that is so true, man. That's so true. Oh my God, I was telling my son. I was telling my son that, man. I said women will have you doing some crazy stuff. All right, let me say this while we over here, man. For me, a little bit like Drake. For me personally, I've been writing songs. That's how I started writing songs, man. As a teenager. If you don't know, I'm a man of faith. I love God. Just gonna throw that out there right now. I absolutely love God, and I wouldn't be where I am today without God. And so I gotta throw that out. But for me, we sung gospel, and so for me, my brothers, they could write and they could play whatever instrument. Never went to school, but they were awesome. But for some reason, I can play drums, but I couldn't play the keyboard, guitars, and all that stuff like they were doing. And so I started wanting to write because my brother could write so well. And so for me, I would write songs just to get his approval. And from that, you see the difference when you sing those songs with meaning, and you see the tears in the eyes of different people, or if you hear someone singing your song, or you see the change of whatever in people through the words that you write. It was just something in that made me feel a certain way. Now, once I started pastoring, I wrote a book called Take Me to the Water. I'm not going to talk about that in here, but, and then once I got sick, it just seemed like it took everything out. But once I got my Fred Hill back, once I got that started moving and going, it's like, what do I write? What do I do to motivate? And so for me, I would write anywhere on my phone. I would write things on my phone. I keep a pad with me. I used to keep one of the recorder things before you could do with the phone. I would record, had, like I said, wherever I was, I would just write different things. So for me, once I got home on my computer, I would put things together. And as Tifiro was saying, you sitting and you going there, you're writing, it would come to you what this is the chapters, or this goes together, or however it. And once that comes, then you get a rhythm. And for me, I've been writing for a while, but with the Dialysis Is Not Your Life, man, I wrote that even in the clinics. I would be writing on my, well, if I'm sitting there, blood work, something come, I'm writing, I'm talking, or in the waiting room, when things went wrong in the hospital, I'm writing. So those different things, because I feel that someone needs to know that the things that can happen to you, but you can always overcome.
Awesome, awesome. Do you have a specific place you like to go to do your writing?
Kind of just like what Fred said. Sometimes, you know, the spirit of writing just hits you, you know, wherever you may be. You know, like there were times, you know, when I was on dialysis, I was jotting things down at certain times because it's small things that, you know, you might not think that are big, but you'll say, man, somebody needs to know about this information. So wherever you may be, you might write that little tidbit down and put it in your notes and stuff like that. You know, and sometimes, you know, just like, you know, for me, like Tim, at first writing was hard, but then I just got into a flow. And once I got into a flow, I would just write so much sometimes that a lot of stuff was just got on the, you know, just got on the chopping block because I wrote so much. But you just get into a flow and you just start feeling good about it. You know, just like when Eddie said when he was young, when he started writing, he was young. When, you know, once you start getting, you know, I guess get your confidence in anything, you start doing it, you start seeing some feedback, some positive feedback, you start being, you know, it starts getting good to you, just like anything else, whether you're, you know, exercising, whatever you're doing that you like doing and you're good at it, you know, whatever your expertise is in. And that's what happened to me. So I just, wherever I would be, I would, you know, just write some things down. I might be eating something and I go, oh man, let me put this down. I might be talking to somebody. I never forget, I was talking to a nutritionist and she put me on game with some stuff. And I was like, oh, I went back to that chapter and, you know, start writing some more different things because she put me, you know, she hit me to some more information. So wherever it hits you, man, that's where you basically write from.
Yeah, I'm similar. Sometimes I write at home, but sometimes I'll be out driving and I'll have a thought in my mind and I'll actually pull over to the side of the road whenever I can next and I'll write it down on my phone. Sometimes I like to write when I'm out in nature. I'll just like sit down somewhere near a tree, or if there's a picnic table somewhere, or you know, if the weather's nice in the fresh air and write. Yeah, it just depends on the time of year too. But I love to be out in nature, and I do like to write too. So both of them together inspired me a lot.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of I gotta like set the mood type person. I gotta almost like what Cook say, whenever it hit me, whenever it comes, you know, like wherever I can write wherever. But if I'm being intentional, one thing I learned from Mr. Perry, Mr. Tyler Perry, he got like writing rooms and stuff like that. And so of course I got places in my home that I go to write, but usually like late at night I gotta set the you know, dim the lights, put on some music, or put on an interview, or put on something that help articulate or express how I'm feeling, and I kind of get the writing or something like that, or interview that inspire me or something like that, and then I get the writing in. And it's like one of those things. Once I start, I can't stop. But you know, it's kind of like, yeah, it's just one of those things. Just go with the spirit, because I write personally from my soul. A lot of stuff when I write is from my soul.
Yes.
And so yeah.
I like that, man. And I guess I just reiterate again, you know, it's just wherever I am when it hit me. But one thing for me in my writing, I can't write in silence. So it is, I gotta have, if you don't know, I love cartoons. So cartoons is my thing. So I have to, you know, have something going. And I don't know, I mean, even in school and all of that, I couldn't study in silence. I have to have, whether it's music, I open it, you got to hear somebody talking. It can't be crazy loud, but it has to be something to I don't know, but I can focus out of that and then start writing. Now, if everything gets silent after I'm in my groove, then I'm fine. But I can't start writing if it's all silent. I can't do that. It can't be what's the word? It can't be tranquil. It can't be that. I have to have something to where I got to focus attention out of and upon what I'm doing. I don't know why, but that's just I guess how I'm wired with that. Because the thing for me also with writing, I've woke up at 2 in the morning, 3, 4, whatever in the morning, and it's like it hit me while I'm sleeping, and I got to get up. I was like, baby, I'm going downstairs to write. And so I would go down, like I say, turn TV on, and I start writing, because even while you're sleeping, it's like God gives you things, or like from your soul, you feeling things, and you come down and you write. And one thing is, if I'm in the car now, I'm not driving, but there's been many times where I would be driving and things hit me, so I can't grab anything at the time. But if I'll pull over, or I'll say, baby, if she's in the car, baby, can you write this down for me? So just those different things, man. So for me, I've always had some kind of pen, paper, something that I can write on, because inspiration can hit you at any time. Because even talking to Tifiro, talking to you, Philip, different things that I write down just for my motivation. Or, when I'm doing the reset classes, the things that we talk about and we share, and things that we have on these conferences, I'm able to share with different clients. And so I'm constantly writing, I'm constantly moving, because, man, if information is everywhere and in everything. And if you have that passion in whatever you're doing to help or to do, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the book, but it's information that I want to share, that I don't forget. Because growing up, I was told as a teacher, when you write it down, it's easy for you to remember.
Man, I'm loving these answers. We're gonna get back to these questions in a second. We're gonna take a quick commercial. to a second chance. So my first question is, how ever did you experience writer's block?
It's gonna get harder and harder with trucks. That's why I'm trying to get past them.
I'm glad you asked that question, because sometimes I would be excited to write and really excited to write. I get home from somewhere and I'll be like, man, I'm excited to write. I can't wait to write. And then I get to the paper and I'll be like stuck, like, oh my gosh, yeah. And so one thing I could say is my wife comes from a writer's background, man. Her mom is she got a degree in librarian. So I'm just gonna tell you right there, a master's degree in some librarian type stuff. So I would ask my wife at times, like, hey, I'm kind of stuck right here, and she'd just give me some, just give me a couple, nuggets and stuff like that and keep me going and everything. But for the most part, I didn't have too much writer's block, man. I was mostly excited about writing, about what I had to say, and everything. So, but at times I did have it, but very frequently, not often.
So I had writer's block here and there, and I would do similar things as Tifiro. I would ask friends or my wife as well for some support, or sometimes I would go back and look at some previous shows that I had been on where I had shared my story and that kind of thing. And also sometimes I just found that I just needed to take a break. Sometimes you just, you're writing and you want to get it out, but it's just not the time. So you just need to step away and come back at another time, and that's all right. So yeah, it definitely happened here and there, and I just allowed to come out when it was ready to come out.
No, first and foremost, salute to you, gentlemen. You gentlemen, all of you all are amazing. I was tired prior to getting on this. I'm like, but yeah, I'm inspired for like right now. But to answer your question, Phil, it's crazy. One thing about me, which is kind of a negative thing, bad thing about me, is that I thrive kind of off the negative, the doubt, the I gotta prove something or something like. But when things are going great, it's tough for me to or when things is, just like I always say, when I was building businesses and sleeping in the flow with the, this and that, and nothing versus getting a little something, it's easier to get sort of comfortable, and comfortability is detrimental to growth. So I always try to keep myself in that mind on trying to like keep myself in that place that, that place of hunger, that place of enough is not enough. Like find new goals, find new challenges, find new people who won't let me in the room or something like that. I always try to find that, because it puts that fire under me and helps me to write. But to answer your question, it's like when things are going too well, or when I'm too comfortable or something like that, and when an environment like that, I gotta, almost like how a rapper have to like be in the gritty. They can't be in a nice studio in a penthouse. You got to be like in the basement with the writing on the walls. I got to kind of be in like that type of place, which that's where I do my best writing anyway. So yeah.
I guess for me, the way I write, I can't explain it, because for me it's inspiration. You as you're going and you're going, whatever you're writing about. Once I write that, and I know I come to the completion of whatever I'm trying to say, the writer's block come from me is when I'm trying to force more, are trying to force the next, and really not know where I'm going. Because I just, what I did have and what I was inspired to write, I got that. And so, you're trying to write a book. And so you're trying to force information or trying to force the next topic. And so with that, it's like, that's the writer's block for me, because I don't have anything. And then other times when there's something in me, but I can't convey it like it's in me. I can't, you want to say something and it's big to you and you want to say it a certain way, but when you pen it, it's not the same. And so with that creates a writer's block for me as well. But one of the things that has always helped me is when I would say, babe, will you read this for me? Read it back. She proofread everything over and over and over again, and she'll give me her feedback and, does this make sense? Or I don't understand this or whatever. And sometimes we butt in the heads. I don't know what you're trying to say. This don't make no sense. And I'm like, well, let me read it out loud to you. And so, but through that, a lot of times, because of her questions or because of what she's saying, she's trying to look in the camera, shaking her head. So, but through that, man, it would open up something, man, because I'm like, she was right there with me the whole time, going through everything, helping me with my tears, praying with me, all these different things, struggles, frustrated with me. And so when she didn't understand it, that would bring me back and say, okay, you might want to simplify some of this, or it gives me what my next thing is. I mean, so I can't take credit on I penned it, but understanding the ideas and a lot of things that she said, or when she questioned when you writing or challenged my writing. Wow, she challenged it, and so when I had the writer's block and I went to her, I knew when I came out of that, I would know what my next move was.
Love it.
I want to
So we
piggyback
touched
on
on
what I just want to piggyback on what Fred said. He's exactly right. When I was writing, also when I'm writing, and even now when I'm writing, and I let my wife see it sometimes, and sometimes she'll read it back and be like, "That don't even make no sense." It killed me, and I'll be like, and sometimes, just like you said, when you do say it out loud, or you hear somebody else say it, it might not be, where you're coming from, because sometimes you want to write that in your head. It's really impactful. You got this impactful statement you want to say, and then, like he said, you pin it, and it's real dull. And then you give it to somebody else, and they like, that sounds like crap. And you be like, what? I want this. And like you said, you have the back and forth. I know just where you're going with that, because you have that back and forth where you want to, kind of choke one of each other out. But, two minds are better than one. And then you come to a, understanding. So I just wanted to piggyback on what he said. He's absolutely right, though. You have to have somebody else kind of right beside you a little bit to, hear what you're kind of trying to convey. So go ahead, Phil.
So we touched on this kind of a little bit earlier. I want you guys to really dig deep and think about this answer as it's coming to you. What do you hope your audience, the audience that you're trying to reach, takes from this book, the book that you put out?
My book is straight to the point, man. It's 10 things that you need to know and do. And what I would love the audience to do is the things I have the audience do, the things I have the people do who read this book, is things they can do right away. It's nothing you have to do out the ordinary. You don't need to, go do this or do that. It's just this book is all about behavior change, and it's subtle behavior changes. If you're on dialysis, that will get you to where you want to be. It'll make you healthy. And it's all about behavioral change anyway. And that's what I want this book to be about. I want it to be when you read it, it will give you the encouragement to have some of those behavioral changes to keep you healthy in this situation. And that's what this book's about. This book is all about just this dialysis, nothing more, nothing less. And it's all about behavioral change. I can't say it enough. And it's things that you can do, with a flip of a script, change them up, and you'll be on a better path. Just like if you was on a GPS and the GPS said next light turn green. I mean, turn right or left or whatever. You just follow that. All you had to do is turn, and you're right where you want to be. So that's what this book is all about. It's about behavior change and subtle behavior changes that get you where you want to be. That's what this book is totally about if you're on dialysis.
I want people who read my book, cancer patients, survivors, supporters, to first of all know that they're not alone. Second of all, to support each other, to show up for each other. And I encourage them to share their story when they're ready, if they're ready, and whatever parts when they're ready to do so. It's really a book to encourage people to show up and support each other and share their stories, So that's really the gist of my book and why I wrote it.
That's awesome, Tim, and great question, Philip.
Thank you.
I'm just thinking back because, like I said, I've been writing a couple others, so I'm trying to think what's in that book, and how when you create something, you're in that moment, or So I'm trying to give you a raw and unfiltered answer. But if I just off the top of my brain, what comes to me when I put together that particular book, How Inspires Mr. Ynott. The Lord put in my spirit, he gave me a quote from my wife. He said, "Why not dream? Why not believe? Why not persevere? Why not give back? Why not dream whatever? Why not dream the impossible? Why not believe it with all your heart? Why not overcome, like I said, the king of overcoming adversity? Why not overcome any adversity and obstacles that come your way? Because as we know, one thing about life, you're gonna have some good times, but it's gonna storm. It's just not a perfect world. So why not dream? Why not believe? Why not overcome? Like what you learn through that overcoming of those obstacles kind of make you who you are. You got to go through the fire in order to be that diamond. You don't know what you made of unless you really go through that fire. You got to be tested. You got to, like I said, I tell everyone, anything that I went through in my life, dialysis that I went through, I talk about it, but I really don't talk about it because I tell people all the time, I done went through so much trauma in my life and I overcame it and it made me who I that I did dialysis. I said, okay, let's take this on. It was like a challenge. Like I told you earlier, it was just like another challenge. Like, yeah, let's do it. And then I'll come out of this and make something positive out of it. Like I told you, I stuttered back then. Now, now I'm an inspirational speaker, speaking, getting paid a lot of money to speak. This, and so on and so forth. Now this, overcame this, still taking medications, of course. But now myself, with the help of so many individuals, including Philip, Tifiro, so many other people out there, created an organization, that impacts thousands of lives each year. And we ain't talking about we got $1 million budget, just thousands of lives each year with So it's just like that. If I can do it, I wrote this book that say if I can do it, why not you? You can too. And more importantly, you can give back. Like I don't care about the attention when I did it, all that. Cool. But now these days I'm just like, man, I want to inspire these kids to think that you can achieve what you want to achieve, but that's not the pinnacle. Giving back is the pinnacle. You got to give back. We're blessed to be a blessing. So really, in that book, I don't want to tell too much about it because, like I said, but now by the time me preaching like Fred, I love your preaching, by the way, Fred. But yeah, I'm down, Philip. I don't want to take up the whole time because that's a good question. But yeah, I just want to inspire people to never give up, never lose hope, and why not dream, believe, persevere, and why not give back?
I think for me, it's the same as because all of us have a story, and for me, it's the same as Edward. The adversity. My story come from nothing. Father was in jail. Mom died all this right. Father went to jail. I was 5. Mom died. I was 9. Went through being raised as neglected and abused, and you can keep going on and on and on. And then being raised in the ghetto, being dealing with basically gangs, and you can keep going. But one thing, like he said, if you overcame that, then what else? You built and structured by what you've gone through to be able to overcome other things. So for me in my life, there's 3 scriptures. I mean, I'm not preaching, but there's 3 scriptures that I want that for me, my life is based upon. Number 1 is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Number 2, what is impossible to man what is impossible to man is possible with God. And the 3rd thing is all things work together for good for those who love God and those who are called according to his purpose. And so for me, I know I'm purposed. And so I don't look at anything to say impossible. I look at it to say I'm possible. Because the reality is, what is it if God is on your side? And then what is it that you can't do? What is it that you can't accomplish? What is it that you can't overcome? And so for me, that's what I want to portray into the lives of those who read this book, that nothing is impossible. Even though you're on dialysis, you can still go after your dreams. Don't allow anything in your life to define who you are or define your life, because God has given you the power to do that. When he said to dominate, he said to be fruitful and to multiply. And so I've given you all the earth for you to rule. And so the mindset of that, when you really understand who you are, it puts something in me to say, hey, the book is so, I can't even think of the word I'm trying to say, but it's more than just dialysis. It's not your life. The people who have gotten this book, it's not just people on dialysis. It can be divorce is not your life. Cancer is not your life. Bankruptcy, foreclosure, it's not your life. Because the thing is, there are steps and things in which you've got to do to overcome whatever it is. So whatever obstacle, whatever calamity, whatever trouble, just don't stop moving, because eventually you're going to come out. That's me. That's me.
I feel you on that, brother. I feel you.
So this question for you all is, and if you don't have one, but who are some of your favorite authors? Some that you may have researched their style of writing, or just remember it from when you were younger, when you read certain books. So certain books, some of those writers that you kind of look at and go, that's a great writer.
I like James Baldwin. He's a great writer. I started listening to him when I was a lot younger. But right now, one of my favorite. I have a couple of favorite authors right now. A gentleman named that I'll pull out the book right now and just let you see it. His name is Robert Greene. He wrote The Laws of Human Nature. This book right here is very, very strong book. It's a thick book, and this is one of the ones you want to study when you write it. But Robert Greene, to me right now, is probably like my favorite author. Love him to death, man. He's remarkable. Dr. Joe Dispenza is another gentleman who I read a couple books, his books too. The book I just got to reading of his right now is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. But Tim Ferriss is another gentleman that I like a lot also. So he wrote The Tipping Point. He wrote a couple other books that are really, really highly effective and stuff like that. So, but right now I would definitely say anything from Robert Greene. That's my guy, man. This guy is on a higher level of consciousness and what he talks about and what he conveys in his books and how he gets his message across. I would read his stuff and be like, man, this dude is just on a whole nother level. And just to hear about his story. But I'm a big Robert Greene fan. I would definitely say he's one of my favorites for sure.
Awesome, and I second that, Cook. I got Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power. You can't go wrong. And I got all his books that he write. As you can see, my bookshelf over there. But and also one book that really blessed me, especially during my formative years. I remember reading that book by Russell Simmons called "Do You." And sorry, I'm plugging in my computer. But yeah, that book really just, back when I was trying to, I share with a lot of teens whom I mentor, because the importance of Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about other people's purpose, walk, whatever they got planned. Just do you, and become the best you. Become the best. Bring to fruition whatever the Lord had created you to do. It's not life. It's not a competition. It's a journey. So I know that Do You book by Russell Simmons, Dale Carnegie, which I'm reading now.
Mm-hmm.
How to Win Friends, Influence People.
I read that one too.
Yeah, Cook told me about a book which I had read or started reading. I got to finish. Is I forgot what you had told me about. It's the book by the Black Book of you remember what you told me? I forgot what it's called. Wow,
Napoleon Hill?
No,
No,
no, it wasn't him. It was like yeah, I had to look this on a bookshelf, but definitely try to read as many books and find one thing that I'm into now is like finances and learning how not only to make money, but how to make your money work, and how to diversify portfolios and all that other stuff, which which I tell a lot of kids, it's cool to try to get money, but once you get money, then what, so stuff where they don't teach us in school. So yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, just you guys right here. There's a book, man, that you all need to read, man. This book is heavy. It's called The Destruction of the Black Civilization. This book will change your life, man. I can't tell you guys enough. This book right here is a study, and if you just read a page a day, it's called the Destruction of the Black Civilization. We can never go forward if we don't know what happened in history. So this book right here tells us what really, really went down, and it changes your perspective when you see what's really going on and everything. And this gentleman that wrote this book, his name is Chancellor Williams, man. This guy is a high-level guy, and this is a phenomenal book that I think any black man that's on their crusade of life, that has kids, that has a wife, that's a leader, definitely needs to read this book, man. I can't say it enough, because this book right here will change your trajectory on your life, and it will also, you will see the destruction on some of the things that happen that's in our DNA right now. We know what we're talking about. But this book right here will clarify a lot of things that's missing in our lives. That's all I just wanted to say.
Oh, that's awesome, man. For me, y'all gonna laugh at me, but my favorite book in the whole wide world since I was probably 6 or 7 was Green Eggs and Ham by Dr.
Seuss is heavy. Yeah, I agree.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. I know it sounds crazy, man,
No, it
but for
doesn't.
me,
No, it
it's
doesn't.
always subliminal messages. But that one was one that always got me, because it's like, what are you missing out on? In life, what are the things in life? Because it wasn't in your culture, or your parents didn't eat it or do it, or maybe, different things, because for me, a lot of things, especially growing up in a religious house. And so there are a lot of things that they'll tell you can't do, don't try, don't make whatever, but it's good for your life. And then don't talk to this person, or don't do this, or blah, blah, blah. But understand, without the same ones that you told me don't talk to, was the one that showed me deep things in life and revelations in life. And so to me, it's something that teaches you how to live. So what are we missing out when you saying try this and say, I will not try them in a house, and I will not try with a mouse, I will not. So you got all the excuses of why you won't do, when all you should do is do. And it could be the best thing that has ever happened in your life. So, that's one thing to me that's really helped. But, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, TJ is one of my favorite, man. You can just go all down the list with him, with all the men power and all the what's a man crushing and all these things. He will always write and to speak to me. But one book, with Michael Todd, he has one that's called Crazy Faith. For me, because the things I look at Edward, man, you're doing some big things. And for me and my family, it's crazy, because everything that I do, nobody in my family, or the things that I've done, nobody in my family has done it. So where do I get it from? Where do I go for help? How do I get this? And so, you know, when you're looking at, you look, and even when I don't even know where to go, I don't know, that's, you know, what do you do? And so for me, it's like it's been a lonely journey, or it's like I'm the guy with the machete, and I'm in the wilderness just cutting, and you don't know where you're going, but you know, somehow you end up in a good place, and sometimes you got to turn around. And so, you know, there's one book that I got now is Seven Habits of highly effective people.
I
So
read it.
that's,
That book is this. I have that one too. This is a heavy
yeah.
book. Yeah, I was gonna say that was another one right here. I'm telling you, man. Yes.
So I'm not in my office. I'm trying to think offhand, you know, and grabbing these books, man. There's another book called All In. And so these, because, you know, if you have in, you're still not all in. And so, you know, when you think about it, it's the same thing of trying to work on everything at one time, and at the end of the day, you didn't get anything done. So, you know, coming to a place, you know, you can't be half in or a little bit in. Get all in with what you're doing and accomplish it. So for me, man, those books, man, and reading changes your life. I'm one that grew up, hated reading, absolutely hated reading. And in the first book I wrote, Take Me to the Water, I'm like, man, I don't like reading, but God, why are you telling me to write this? So I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. So the thing is not really knowing. I didn't do great in English. So being able to write, and so for me, I guess for those who are writing, I'm gonna say this: I write how I talk. So how it comes out of Fred Hill's mouth, that's how I write it. If I say ain't, then ain't is gonna be in there. If I say y'all, then y'all is gonna be in there. But you know, the good thing about having someone to proofread your stuff and to say, well, it'll sound better if you say it like this, or if you do it like this. And so, you know, in the end result, you get what you're reading. But if you see the rough drafts, that's the stuff with my wife is like, you know, hey, you know, that makes no sense. But you know, the whole thing when you're looking at is being able to listen to people, man, and because I don't want to be like anybody else, but I love how TD Jakes paints the picture and allows you to see. I mean, while you're reading it, if it's cold outside for some reason, when you're reading TD Jakes stuff, it's like get cold in your house, because that's how he put these words on this paper. And so for me, that's how I want to write. That's how I want to talk. That's how I want to motivate. That's how I want to teach and preach. So you can feel what's inside of me from the passion and all that I do, man. So that's Fred Hill.
Ooh-wee. Fred, I feel like
Awesome.
man, I didn't.
We'll step in there.
I feel like this Bible study.
Oh, go ahead. You good.
No. I'm just gonna tell Fred, man, you inspired me, man. Like I said, it feels like I'm between Bible study and wanting to go dancing, man, wanting to go run through a wall. So, yeah, I salute you, brother.
Wow, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm definitely. I told my wife this, man. Before coming on, I told my wife, I said I got to reach out to Edward, man, because for me, I pull on Tifiro and I pull on Philip, because man, you got a lot inside of you, man, and doing a whole lot inside of you, man. That I want to know. I'm telling you, man. I want to know, and so I'll be reaching out, man. If you could put me in one of your plays. You know what I'm saying? I can sing a little bit too, man. So, you know, however you want to do that, just write me down. But I'm going to reach out to you, man, because you're doing a whole lot that I don't know. And like what Tifiro was saying, you know, he's in Florida and I'm in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So there's room for me to duplicate whatever it is, because the same people who needs what you're doing in California, trust me, the people here are doing the same thing. They need it too. So even if I got to pass them to you, I don't know, but I need to reach you, man. I really do.
Why not, brother? Let's do it. Go ahead, Phil. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
So just to put my little 2 cents in, a few favorite authors on the screen right now. Actually, but I'm gonna start with my first one, James Patterson, all-time favorite author. My next two, at this point right now, is Fred Hill or Drake.
Wow, man.
Number 3 and number 4, Tifiro Cook. When that book comes out, I'm still been seem like waiting for like 4 years for this book, man. You
I
over here
know,
got me
man.
sitting there
Hey,
shivering
I had some.
and waiting,
Hey,
brother.
believe
I'm
me, man. Sometimes you just have to. You have to know it's God's time. It ain't it ain't my time. So it just some things happen. Some things set you back, but when it hit the shelf, that's the time. That's all I can say. I can't fight it no more. I want to beat everybody up and everything and scream and holler, but sometimes some things out of my control. I just gotta let it happen. So.
hey, man, whenever that
But
time
we
is,
ready
it'll
for
definitely be the right
Hey,
time. Oh
greatness takes
Yes,
yeah,
time,
for sure,
and
definitely.
greatness takes time. I'm on the edge of my chair, Cook. I fall down, so I can't wait.
Um, and, and definitely on Tim's to come because I have another people in my family and I'm attached to that virus, so definitely looking for it as well. So let me get my questions back up here. So my last two questions are: if you had to decide right here, right now, what your next book would be about, what would it be?
That's a good question. Um, I don't know. I thought about like the 10 dialysis commandments has parts of me in there being vulnerable and things like that to help others, but I don't know if I would tell my story about what I went through and everything, from a deep perspective of 18 years old getting sick to now and things like that, and the story's still evolving as you go. You never end. So I don't know if
Right.
it'd be that or I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm at to leave that blank right now. I'm coming up with I don't know.
With me, one thing I learned, it took me years, and it took me, like I said, doing a lot of work in different fields. From starting my organization and now company, with really no experience to now having a chance to work in larger entities. Uh, I learned that you keep some stuff on a hush, But one thing I will say, everything that I do falls in line with my purpose that the Lord gave me. Rather, like I said, it'll be under the for-profit, non-profit, whatever. Is why not inspire and impact lives? Everything that I do is under that. So just know. Once we release the name, once we start doing stuff like that, yeah, it'll be inspiring or motivating, or it'll have something to do with that will inspire and impact lives. So I'll leave it at that.
For me, I'm like Philip. You know what I mean? The ideas and those different things when they come out, trying to keep things. But I just want to say this is something that piqued my interest. And this is my interest, piqued my interest of writing my next. You know, one of my clients, she's a nurse practitioner, and this is 50-year-old. I'm 51. Okay, so I mean, I consider myself young. I'm handsome. I still, look good. I consider that. So when someone say they 51, I look in the mirror and I see myself. And so the guy's 50 years old on dialysis. He goes to every appointment. He doesn't miss a treatment on dialysis. He goes to the clinic. He takes his med. I mean, he's on point with everything. So one day he went missing. He went missing for over a week. And so she was saying they were trying to find him. They couldn't find him because he's so compliant. He's always here. He's always doing everything. Where is he? Is something wrong? And so a week and a half he shows back up, and they like, where you been? What's going on? What's going on? He said, we terrified. We thought something happened to him. Gonna call the cops and blah blah blah. So his word to them was, I'm on dialysis, but dialysis has taken over my life. He says, I'm not living. He says, I'm just existing on dialysis. And he said, and I'm done because if this is my life, then I don't want to live anymore. Okay. And the answers that they gave him was, Well, what you need to do is you need to do at-home dialysis. And he said, I'm doing dialysis right now, and it's not my life. So they were going back and forth, do at home because you have more time, have more time, have more time. So, you know, when I said, well, please, this is when the word came to me. I said, please, if there's any way that I can talk to him, because you don't see him. You're not seeing him. He's telling you that dialysis has taken over your life, over his life, and he don't want to live anymore on dialysis because he's not living, he's not doing, his energy is gone. So all these different things. And your answer to him, his problem is dialysis, and your answer to him was, well, do dialysis. And I said, the thing to him, I said, you don't see him. You don't see him. And I said to them, if there's any way that I can talk to him, because he don't realize the problem with him is dialysis, he's lost his self-worth and he's lost his purpose in life. He sees no purpose outside of dialysis. No one told him that there's more, that dialysis is your battery of life. So go live. So regardless if he did the at-home, it would still be the same situation because he was allowing dialysis to dictate his life. And I'm saying, who is it that's screaming and we're trying to give them solutions, but we're not seeing, we're not hearing, we're not listening, we're missing, and the answer's right in front, and they're screaming to you what's wrong. That's what I'm pinning right now.
No, that's awesome, Fred. Can I chime in real quick, Philip? Because something just crossed my mind. I want to do it. Your family, so I want to say it on here. Now, one thing that I do want to release that my wife just gave me the okay. We're creating a bedtime story for our unborn child. So that's something that, you know, this child that we prayed for so many years, that, you know, it's basically done. We're just waiting to, but she gave me permission that I can't say something about it. But yeah, we're releasing a bedtime story that currently I'm reading to my child every night while in the womb of my wife. And it's still, and it'll come out and hopefully bless a lot of people who may have
it makes a difference.
Went through some hey, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. Who may have went through some challenges with pregnancy and try to do everything right, but still seem like everything going wrong. But once again, I'm the king of overcoming adversity, and that's because of my faith in God. And everything happens like in God's timing, not ours. So, you know, that's why I'm excited about Cook's book and you know, Fred new book and everything you got going on in store.
And keep reading to my niece, man. That makes a big difference. Believe me, man. I can't say it enough. Believe me, keep doing it. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And Cook, like I said, Tifiro, he was there. He knew the challenges, and that's not what this show about. But like I said, since that's a book, once again, why not inspire, impact lives? Like I said, that's. But yeah, he been talking to me, encouraging me. It took years. When I was out there being reckless, every time I turned around, I was getting scared, getting calls. You know, trying to do things right, get married, and we couldn't conceive for years. But God,
man. Hey, this is new to me, man. So listen, congratulations to you and your wife, man. That's some exciting news to hear, man. That's powerful. I only got one son, one child. But I'm telling you, man, the way I feel about my boy, he's 21 now, but the way I feel and how I love, man, the relationship that we have, man, I pray, man, greater for you, Doc, man. I do, man. This ain't nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it, man. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, so, Eddie and Christian are going to be great parents, man. I can't wait to see, you know, Eddie parent and Christian parent. This is going to be a beautiful thing, man. It's really, really wonderful. I love seeing young parents, especially people who can really, really, you know, bring a kid to fruition in a great environment, you know, mother and father. And it's going to be very, very special to watch this little niece of mine grow up. I can't wait. Go ahead and give me one more question, man, because I got to go. What's up? Phil, I got to bounce.
Hey, man, I was waiting on you to quiet over there, brother.
My fault.
No, I'm just playing. So, last question. No, I don't mind you talking, Cook. Last question is, what are your last words on this show? If a young writer comes to you and say, "Hey, what should be my steps to writing? I have an idea about a book. What should be my next step?"
You will have roadblocks. Like I don't even want to talk about all the roadblocks I didn't had and stuff like that, and the setbacks and things like that. But just like setbacks with anything, you just got to keep on going. If this is, if God has told you to write the book, then keep on going. The setbacks are going to happen. Like Edward said, he's the king of overcoming. But you have to keep on going. That's what I would tell a young writer. If you got something to say, you can't just say, okay, I'll forget it, I ain't gonna do it. You got to keep on going because you're gonna have setbacks. If I would sit there and tell you about the setbacks I have right now, you guys would be like, wow. So, but that's neither here nor there. You just keep on going. Simple as that. And so that's the only thing I could tell you right now as a younger writer. Keep on writing down all your ideals. Keep on having that fire in your stomach, and keep on taking action. Don't be like, I'm gonna. Be that dude to say, I'm doing it. And that's the difference right there. And once you keep on having that mindset and you just keep on going, even so, there were some days you just write a page. There's some days you just write a paragraph and that was it. But you keep on going. You keep on moving the needle. And that's the biggest goal. As long as the needle keeps on moving in the right direction, that's what I would tell a young writer. But fellas, I got to get out of here. I got to run. Y'all do y'all's thing. It was great. This was wonderful. Fred, my brother, love you. Eddie, keep on being your man. Phil, much love. And I'll holler at you guys, all right?
Yes,
All right,
much
man.
love, brother.
Okay. Peace.
For me, Phil, it would be I would just encourage I would tell them, what's your why? Like this day and this age where everybody think they could do anything, or they want to do anything, and it's just I would say, what's your why? Why do you want to do it? Now, if you want to do it because you see somebody else do it or it looks easier or whatever, or why you want to do it, and if they know why they want to do it, then you're gonna figure out how, and if I can be there to mentor or whatever. But once again, I like to make people I like to really make people think, like I said, why, and then tell them I'm proud of them, go make it happen, because I know they're gonna figure out how. Like some people may come and expect you to give them the resources, then get that book. No, you gotta, hey, go. You gonna figure out how. I give you guidance, but it's gonna mean more if you put that work in, and if you really take that time to figure out how, instead of he did it, let me go hop on here, steal all their stuff. Because you can go in there and steal how they write their book. You can write the same exact book, and it may not be. It probably won't be as successful as Dale Carnegie's, because that was his vision. That was for him. So and that's the thing. I'm just getting at this day and age where everybody just, I'm gonna start an organization, or I'm gonna start a company, I'm gonna start, and and sometimes it works, sometimes, but you gotta know your why, and being a spiritual man, if it's meant for you to do, it's gonna work, and you're gonna figure out the how. So but I'm not gonna. You got to figure that out. I'm gonna be there just a guy, like a parent. Think you got to answer. So yeah, that would be my, if you know your why, you're going to figure out how. And I'm proud of you. Go make it happen. Why not? Thanks, Philip, for having me on.
I like that. For me, Edward said it in a different way, but for me, I'm saying follow your passion and not just a good idea. Because the good idea is, I'm gonna write this or write this because so and so wrote it, like what he said. And if you write it, it won't be heartfelt because you didn't have a passion behind it. So to me, when you're writing, not unless you're some kind of journalist or whatever, but if you're writing something that you want to be heartfelt, that you want somebody to read and to know, let there be a passion behind it, man. Because if there's a passion behind it, there'll be a drive behind it in yourself. And one thing that I want to say as well, my wife would tell me, because when you're writing, don't get distracted by, but what I'm going to do to get it out, and what I'm going to do this right here, and you're not done writing the book yet. So who I'm going to get the proofread, who I'm going to get to do this, how I'm going to get the money. Write the book. Write the book. Because the thing is, like my wife would remind me The scripture says to write the vision and make it plain, and they that will read it will run with it. And so she would always tell me, God said to write it. Don't worry about paying for it. He'll do that. And so in the time that you need something, it will show up when it's ready, when you're ready. So she would always tell me that. She said, you're not ready for this part because the book ain't done. Keep writing. You're not ready for this because the book ain't done. Keep writing. And so that's one thing I want to tell you. Stay focused on in the passion on what you're writing. And when the time for things to work out, if you believe God, like I know I do, I'm not trying to preach, but understand things will work out. Yeah, it's amazing the people that have showed up, the people has said, hey, I heard you're doing this. Hey, are you talking? I met a guy at the trash dump that published books. I'm dumping trash, and for me, you talk. It's how you doing, blah blah. What you do? I publish books. I'm like, whoa. So I'm saying, so when the time is right, just finish doing and stop worrying about all the. That's all I got. If I had to say something about it, that's it for me.
Awesome. We appreciate you, gentlemen, Mr. Cook, Mr. Sohn, for joining us today. We'll be back next Wednesday, same time, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Mr. Hill, have a great event. I know you're on your way to taking care of business. So,
Right, I'm finna hang
good
up,
what you
guys,
gotta
man, because
do.
I'm almost
Yes,
there,
sir.
man. All right, but I appreciate everything, man. You guys have a blessed one now.
All right, you too. Hey, Philip, can I just say
You
a
as
few
well.
words?
Yes, sir.
No, I just want to commend you in front of this audience, man. Like I said, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Like I said, I'm proud of what you're creating, what you've created. Like I said, you're one that I feel have taken all the gifts and talents that the Lord has blessed you with the different adversity and challenges you overcoming that, and still, and still pushing, and I'm proud of you. Like I said, seriously, I'm proud. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing. I mean, and keep going, man. Keep going. Continue to allow God to use you, brother. Like I said, I'm proud of you. And I don't say that to a lot of people because but I'm genuinely proud because I see behind the scenes how that sausage is made, and and all the things how you teaching yourself how to do. From overcoming, from going to school and graduating, now doing different things and creating, media platforms. I'm proud of you, brother. Keep going, man. I'm proud. That's it.
No, I appreciate it. Most of this started, when I joined Why Not? The vision kind of started there. So definitely got to give you credit for assisting in what, what we're developing here in the second chance. So, without meeting you, Mr. Cook's not here as well. So definitely appreciate your support and your time for sure. Um, so like I said, we'll be back next Wednesday. Starting of National Kidney Month. It's gonna be a great month. Both of us are kidney transplant recipients, so this month and April Donor Life Month means a lot to us. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipelines for sure. We're doing our World Kidney Day event here on the Second Chance, as well as it'll be virtual at Ohio. Are they going to show that one on the Why Not channel, or is it just going to be through Zoom?
I'm not certain, but yeah, if we can, we definitely will. We definitely will show it on the Why Not channel.
Yeah, so definitely keep a lookout for that if you're in Columbia or you're an Ohio State pediatric patient. Going to is on NKF website or Ohio State's pediatric transplant website to register for that event.
NKF. It's like a certain link that certain link. Certain link. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I feel bad. I don't know how to get to it, but if they reach out to us, I'll make sure to get it.
Yeah, definitely check out Why Not Foundation's website, foundation at whynot.org, to get more information on the World Kidney Day event at I'm sorry, Nationwide Children, or is that Nationwide Children. So And then we have our FSGS conference coming up March 30th at 4 o'clock, and that's gonna be awesome. We're adding a extra part to it that we don't normally really do, which is a patients panel. So we're gonna have four wonderful women on. It's National Women's Month as well next month, month of March, as well as the Second Chance Anniversary Month. So a lot of things coming gonna happen in March. A lot of things happen in April. Look out for local events in your area for Donate Life Month as well. If you're in the Georgia area, I know for a fact Sharika Brooks is doing something. She'll be one of the presenters on our World Kidney Day event. I'm sure she'll probably be doing something during the daytime as well in the area. So definitely look out for that on Remote Renal Care .com, as well as Remote Renal Care on social media. Why not connect on social medias as well? And it's definitely a lot of things going to happen within this community for sure. So get ready because it's coming. Mr. Drake, again, thank you for showing up. Mr. Sohn, Mr. Cook, Mr. Hill, we appreciate you, and we'll see y'all next week.